You have seen all the great testimonials and videos of LifeWave products. Yet, still you have doubts about the effectiveness of light therapy, photobiomodulation, and how it works. Let's find out a little more about photobiomodulation from these experts.
Photobiomodulation involves putting photon energy through the skin into deep tissues where it has a metabolic effect, mostly on the mitochondria in each cell. And the net result of all these complex biochemical mechanisms is the production of ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, which is what makes us rev up and move and think and do. It's basically the energy molecule of our body.
Light therapy has been touted as the miracle cure to aging in the 21st century. I mean, people have been talking about it all over the internet, saying it is the quantum leap that we have been all waiting for. You can see kind of the devices that are related to red light therapy are expensive, right? Getting a face mask or a full body panel could cost you upwards of $1,000, $2,000. Is that worth it? Is it really this kind of miracle medicine that everybody talks about, or is it just a fad? The truth is, it's a little bit of both. It's a complex answer, and that's what I'm going to dive into. Hi, my name is Manik Madan. I am a resident doctor based in the US, and I make videos about using technology to make yourself limitless. Diving into red light therapy, what is red light therapy? Red light therapy is a type of photobiomodulation, which means it's using light to change your biology. And what it does is you're taking a specific spectrum out of the whole light. So if you look at the sunlight, right, it has different kinds of light in it. There's UV light, then there's blue light, and then there's red light, near infrared light, far infrared light within that sun spectrum. All of these lights have a specific wavelength, and based upon that specific wavelength, they can either penetrate your body or not penetrate your body. These wavelengths also give these lights different powers. For example, if you look at UV light, while it can cause cancer, it also stimulates vitamin D production, which is important for your body. On the other hand, blue light helps with acne, but red light, out of all of them, is probably the most beneficial light of all because it can actually penetrate your body along with near infrared light. It has three mechanisms of action. The number one is when red light and near infrared light penetrate your body, they go within your tissues and activate these organelles called mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell. In other words, it's the battery of the cell. So when you activate the mitochondria, you're actually kind of giving that battery a boost, allowing every cell in the body to work better. And guess what? This energy is required by each and every cell in your body, from your immune cells to your skin cells to your heart to your muscles. Every cell in your body for each and every function requires energy. And so red light just allows every cell to get more of that energy, which leads to its beneficial effects. For example, if we look at the fibroblasts, which make collagen and elastin in your skin, red light therapy stimulates the fibroblasts and causes more collagen elastin production, which gives you that tensile look. Not only that, if you have any hyperpigmentation on your skin or there's any kind of solar damage because of not using sunscreen, red light therapy can stimulate macrophages to erase that damage or rewrite that genetic code, because it stimulates certain pathways there as well through mitochondria via this thing called retrograde signaling. So when you are activating mitochondria, they also react with the DNA to change or rewrite your epigenetic code, which kind of takes away the hyperpigmentation, the solar damage that is going away. With red light therapy, it also decreases cellulite production based on that, and that is the main mechanism with the skin.
Aloha, I'm your Minna Van Dyken, MD from Out of the Doldrums. Today, we will be talking about light. More specifically, how light can heal you. That sounds pretty flaky, right? I thought so too. Well, as it turns out, there's actually a lot of really good science out there showing that red and near-infrared light therapy, or photobiomodulation, can reduce inflammation and even help with pain management. So first, I think we need to talk about inflammation. Then, we'll get into the science of photobiomodulation. Inflammation is a really important part of the body's immune response, and it can actually be a good thing in the short term. There are two main types of inflammation, acute and chronic. Acute inflammation occurs following intense physical activity, injury, or in the presence of an infection or sudden illness. A good example of this type of inflammation would be soreness after a very rigorous workout or after a really long hike. It's characterized by redness, warmth, swelling, pain, and sometimes muscle soreness. Acute inflammation is what enables our bodies to concentrate resources and healing efforts on affected areas. So essentially, acute inflammation is a natural and necessary part of daily life, and it aids in our body's recovery processes. Then there's chronic inflammation. This happens when we don't eliminate the acute inflammation that we just talked about. Another cause of chronic inflammation can be autoimmune reactions, where the immune system mistakenly targets the body's own cells. Chronic inflammation can lead to several diseases, such as heart disease, cancer, and autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. It can also lead to accelerated aging, something called inflammaging. So in summary, inflammation is part of the complexity of the immune system's response to harmful stimuli. Despite its role in healing and protection, if inflammation persists for too long, or if it occurs in places where it's not needed, it can become a problem. Let's move on to photobiomodulation. Photobiomodulation, also known as PBM, has many other names. It was previously known as low-level laser therapy and is also known as red light therapy. Photobiomodulation is a therapeutic technique that uses low-intensity light sources, including lasers and LEDs that emit a red or near-infrared light to stimulate, heal, regenerate, and protect tissue that has either been injured, is degenerating, or at risk of dying. One of the really interesting applications of photobiomodulation is its use in reducing inflammation within the body, which is really important given that inflammation is a root cause or a contributing factor to so many chronic diseases and conditions. Of course, when you reduce inflammation, you also reduce the associated pain. So how does this photobiomodulation work? Let's take a moment here and review the science behind the mechanism. Photobiomodulation, or PBM for short, is like giving your cells a gentle power-up using specific wavelengths of light. Imagine using a flashlight not to see in the dark, but to actually charge your body's battery. This isn't any ordinary light, but specific wavelengths of red and near-infrared light that penetrate deep into your tissues. We are talking wavelengths of 625 to 635 nanometers for red light and 810 to 850 nanometers for near-infrared light. Each wavelength has a different depth of tissue penetration, and red and near-infrared are often combined to get maximum effect. So how do these wavelengths of light actually reduce inflammation? Let's dive a little deeper into the science behind it all. On a cellular level, inside each of our cells, we have tiny power plants called mitochondria. These are crucial because they generate the energy our cells need to do, well, everything. From healing a cut to helping you sprint to catch a bus. This energy is in the form of ATP. Mitochondria need fuel to make this energy, and one way they can get an extra boost for this is through PBM. But how does shining a light on your skin help the mitochondria in your cells? Here's where things get really interesting. Within these cellular power plants, there are even tinier components that can catch or absorb this light. These components are known as chromophores. You can think of chromophores like little solar panels inside your cells that catch specific types of light. The main hero among all these chromophores when we talk about PBM is something called cytochrome C oxidase, or CCO for short. CCO is a part of the cell's energy-making process. When red and near-infrared light hits CCO, it's like hitting the turbo boost on a race car. It helps kick the mitochondria into high gear, making more energy for the cell. This doesn't just supercharge the cell for no reason. This boost helps the cell do its job better and more efficiently, whether it's repairing tissue, reducing inflammation, or fighting off an infection. Like we discussed earlier, inflammation is our body's response to injury or infection, but sometimes it can get out of hand and cause pain or other problems. By increasing cellular energy production, PBM can help control the inflammation, making it a powerful tool in managing various health issues, all by simply using the right kind of light. So in essence, the primary mechanism behind the wonders of PBM involves these little light catchers in our cells, turning specific wavelengths of light into a burst of energy that can help reduce inflammation and promote healing. This isn't the only anti-inflammatory mechanism, though. When we dive into the world of PBM, we encounter not just the absorption of light by our mitochondria, but also the intriguing role of reactive oxygen species, as well as nitric oxide. These molecules are key players in our body's response to red and near-infrared light therapy. Let's start by reviewing the creation of reactive oxygen species, also known as ROS. In the context of photobiomodulation, when red and near-infrared light is absorbed by the mitochondria in our cells, a fascinating process unfolds. This light energy doesn't just vanish, it kickstarts a series of reactions. One of these is the production of reactive oxygen species, or ROS. Now, you might have heard of ROS in a negative light, often associated with cell damage and aging. However, in the finely tuned environment of PBM, the reactive oxygen species generated here are at controlled levels, which, instead of harming, signal our cells to wake up and get to work. It's like a gentle nudge, urging our cells to repair, regenerate, and defend themselves. Scientists call this hormetic stress. This controlled production of ROS is crucial for the therapeutic effects of PBM, helping in reducing inflammation and promoting healing. Moving on, let's discuss the release of nitric oxide, or NO. Another fascinating aspect of photobiomodulation is the release of NO within the cells. Nitric oxide is a versatile molecule with a wide range of roles in the body, including vasodilation, which is the widening of the blood vessels. When the mitochondria absorb red and near-infrared light, one of the side effects is the release of NO that was bound within the cells. This sudden freedom for NO allows it to do what it does best: relax and widen the blood vessels. This process increases blood flow, ensuring that more oxygen and nutrients reach the cells, aiding in faster recovery, reducing inflammation, and promoting cellular health. So, with photobiomodulation, we see a controlled and beneficial use of reactive oxygen species and the strategic release of nitric oxide, both of which play a pivotal role in the therapy's anti-inflammatory and healing effects. This interaction demonstrates how light at the right wavelengths can be a powerful tool in promoting health and well-being. The anti-inflammatory action of photobiomodulation therapy has a wide range of applications that can benefit the average person in many aspects of health and wellness. By reducing inflammation, PBM can help manage and alleviate various conditions, improving quality of life.
As Dr. Van Dijken continues, she lists how photobiomodulation helps with the following: muscle recovery and athletic performance,